Yo, what's up, everybody? Bob Walters, Brett Grasso, Locked Up Sports, and what a wild day in Augusta, Georgia. The Masters. Rory finally wins it. A tournament where one of the wildest final rounds I've ever seen, Brett. What about you?
I mean, it started right off with a bang. People were like, oh, he's got a couple stroke lead, and blows it on one. By the second hole, he's all tied up with Bryson DeChambeau. And you think it's just going to be them, right? Back and forth for the rest of the day. You think it's like it was two two-shot swings in the first three holes. It's insane.
He's the only person to ever win the Masters with 4 or more double bogeys on the week. And he was either great or he was awful.
He was either the greatest shot of his life or missed the easiest putts that he makes 99 out of 100 times.
He had 5 of the greatest and 5 of the worst shots of his life, all in one round.
It took him a while to get his driver going. His wedge absolutely left him until that sudden death 18 hole where it finally came through for him. Amazing shot on 7, like miracle through the trees. Nobody thought it, and he puts it right within a couple feet. Then all of a sudden, when looks like he's going to coast to a victory, he decides to put it in the water from about 80 yards out somehow, which is insane. Only chance.
Like, why go for it? Why even go for it? He doesn't have to. He had a lead.
He wasn't even going for it. He was going for it to be put in a safe spot, and he hit such a bad shot, it didn't even get there. That's how it wasn't even like I'm trying to make this like perfect. It was a guy who just missed it. And then again, that came up later on 18, where all he has to do now is go in par 18.
He had a good shot on 18, though. Wasn't bad. Oh, he puts it in the bunker. Yeah, off the tee in the bunker. You're right.
He has to go up and down to win the Masters. He puts it within a few feet.
And he misses the putt.
It was incredible. The place just died.
Everybody thought he was gonna hit the putt.
He was gonna pull it off.
Once Nantz starts talking about the childhood and the token and the golf balls, it's over. It's over.
The moment the baby came out, it was over. I knew he was gonna I can't believe he came back and won it because that was gonna be. Now, do we forget that now? Or is that what we remember from this?
No, I think we remember that he won. But I think you can't forget this, right? That was one of the wildest final rounds of a major you'll ever see. The swings and the emotion and he's hitting the best shots of his life and he's missing the worst shots of his life, all in like a half hour span. I was just telling Brett, we went to dinner. We went out to dinner. It's about 3 blocks from where I live. He had a 2-shot lead. I walked up there. We get into the restaurant, and I look up, and I was like, tied 11 under. I was like, that can't be right. And it's Justin Rose. I didn't expect it to be Justin Rose.
18. Unbelievable that a huge putt on 18, which they say is like one of those
huge putt.
Really, it wasn't like that. It was like that, like a 50-footer or anything, but it was a long, tough putt. He nails it. He puts it where at that point they're both at 11 under because Rory puts it in the water in double bogeys. It's not even like he put it in and then got up and down for the bogey. He missed the up and down at that point. And then he still has it. He goes in birdie 17. Beautiful shot on 17.
I thought it was over when he birdied 17.
And then he birdied 17. And at that point, he gets a nice drive in there. And he just absolutely just hits it in the front right bunker, and everybody's
but it was it was okay because they're like 9 out of 10 times up and down. There's no problem, and he could have because he put it in the perfect spot. He just missed the putt,
and he was so sick. I thought he was gonna die right there.
I don't know how you come back from that. 20 minutes later,
came back and he had that same exact shot with that same wedge from the exact same distance that he blew now twice so far that day. Once already on 18, and he freaking puts it inside Justin Rose's ball within I think they said it ended up being about 2.5, 3 feet, which he ultimately finally is able to make that putt. Because honestly, if it was any further than that, I don't think he's making it.
No, and the drive he hit on 17, where he birdied.
5 feet away.
What happened?
Foot plus, if he doesn't hit it within 2.5, 3 feet,
he might. I
don't
know.
Longer putt.
I mean, you got to be squeezing the putter at that point. Yeah, there's nothing loose about taking that putt. I mean, nothing.
further, I don't think it's happening. And Justin Rose misses his opportunity, pushed his right, which he had a good shot at it, but and he had a great shot on 18 that ended up instead of
they were
hitting the
right
bank,
in each other. They were right in. They were almost balls almost hit, and then Rory's rolled towards the hill, towards the hole a little bit.
And then how do you choose? All right, say you're well, first of all, that it's not a fan. You're not allowed to call them fans this week. They're patrons, just so you know.
Yeah.
Illegal to on the broadcast.
I don't think. I think that makes. I hate the Masters for that.
But
reason.
if you were a patron there, you had the choice now of do you go to 18 and sit there, or do you go to 10? Like you can go to the next hole. That would have been the next sudden death hole. What do you do, Bob? You think?
But where am I at 18? Do I have a chance of
other?
Am I like first couple rows, or am I 30 back at 18?
Spot on 18, bad spot on 18, front row 10.
Yeah, I'd probably go to 10, right? Because he's not good. When do you just make that decision? Do I have to make the decision before they come into the green, before the shot's into the green?
No, it's as Rory misses that there is a mad rush. At the moment Rory misses, the mad rush.
You're talking about on 18 to go wide. They play 18 again.
Yes, but the next hole is 10. So they're gonna go sudden death, and so now you're sitting way back on 18. You're about to see it. You think so, but honestly, they typically are gonna go par or birdie or
on 18,
and now you can go be front row at 10 for what's gonna be like Masters history and be right up front. And everybody have to field chose to go over to 10. They went for it.
It's a call you got to make, I guess. But I don't know. To be honest with you, that's why I don't like going to these golf tournaments, because you can't even watch the tournament. Right, I would want to be on 18 the whole day. But I guess I'd want to be on 18 the whole day.
Yeah, but then you got to show up late, and if you show up late, you don't get a good spot on 18. You got to wait until the crowd filters in. Now you have to go see all the bad golfers. You're there for like 9 hours.
Yeah, and
if you want,
they don't get to 18. The first guys don't get to 18 until 3 hours after they tee off.
You got to settle in and get your seats there and be sitting on 18 for like 6 hours.
Yeah,
when good comes through. You know who you get? You get the extra guy who plays, who's the Masters Clubhouse champion. He's the one who plays when there's an odd number who make the cut. He plays with the last player. So that's who you see.
What do they have? What the club tournament?
The best rated player at the clubhouse plays. There is a guy, and there's an odd number that go into the weekend, which happens usually. And it's been the same guy for 20 years. And it was a new guy this year. And guess what? The guy in the past, he has went on to beat Sergio. He's beat Rory in his round. They don't keep score. They don't have it. They don't have a scorecard. They know
they keep it score. They keep it score.
But it's supposed to be like, I'm not even seeing. They have a green bag, no name on the back. It's just them. And he was with Anthony Kim, I believe, yesterday. And they asked like Anthony about it, and he was like, that guy can play or something like that after.
Yeah, I mean, well, he can play. He can obviously play.
Cool.
But nobody, I mean, it's not even like golfers that are on them, that are part of this club. There's only 3 Masters champions. I saw 3 Masters champions are actually members.
This guy's a hedge fund manager. Fund manager, 50-something years old.
Well, it's like presidents and stuff like that, like Condoleezza Rice, Obama, stuff like that.
Good. They're not like, imagine they put us out there, and it's me and you. Like, we're just rich, Bob. We're just rich, and they're like, you're out there. You want it, Bezos. Bezos, you're in. Just go for it. It's like a pro-am.
It is a pro-am, but he doesn't get on. They don't ever show him, right?
You know they do. They have to, right? Like,
I mean, I didn't watch. I turned it on at 2:00.
No, probably don't. It's all run by the Masters, so they probably don't. You know what? The Masters has the right to show every image they want. Like, they have total control.
But they loosened up their restrictions. They used to let them only do from 3:00. Televised from 3:00 on. Then ESPN came on, and now they do this Amen Corner thing, the featured groups, all day.
It's to be broadcast. Like today, the broadcast starts at 2. That's ridiculous on TV.
Yep. No, it didn't. Yeah, but it starts on TV too. It's on ESPN earlier, or it's on ESPN Plus or something.
I'll give you that, Bob. It's on your phone, or you can go pull up the app, which I did. I had the Masters app going on my TV.
Yeah, but who cares? Who cares? I don't need to see the guys at noon, right? You don't need. They're not winning.
Bob, I'm doing laundry. I got the Masters on in the background. Instead, I'm watching what, like MacGyver or something?
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees are on right now, right? The Yankees are on. Now, did Tiger?
Be watching. We're in the today's day and age where we should be able to watch that from the first tee off to the end, all of it. Like, we're watching CNN 24/7, but they can't show me every round of the Masters for 4 days.
They can. They just want to keep it exclusive. They want to keep it like they don't want to flood the market with the Masters.
Or it's more exclusive than 4 days a year. Like, everybody's tuned.
Which is why I hate the club itself. I love the tournament. I love the Masters, but the Augusta National, as far as they weren't letting blacks or women in until like 10 years ago. They're like they're not good people.
It was who they let in first? Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah, she was the first woman.
All right.
That was like 10 years ago. It was like 10 years ago, Brett. Like the first woman.
Cover all our bases.
Ridiculous. Did you like the joke I made? Now we can't say it here, but did you like the joke?
Then no is the answer. No, I don't like jokes like that. No, nothing even too bad, to be honest with you. But good for you for bringing it up. You just trusted me not to just say what.
No, because you can't say. I actually asked Sarah, my wife. I said, "Can I put this on Facebook?" And she goes, well, "I can't believe you even asked me if you could put this on Facebook."
You know what's funny is it wasn't even that bad that I even like sticks in my head.
Well, here's what I said. Here's what I said. I said, and like. Oh. And we're not going to say it. I'm not going to go too deep into it because we can't say it. But if it's that bad, like a joke that bad, if it's funny enough, it can be said, right? I'm not saying that one was, but I'm saying if it's funny enough, it can be said.
But it is like you could say it where you wouldn't like be ripped in a room with people, right? But you don't put that in ink.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why I put it in the group chat, not here.
You're ripped, but you just be like, really, like
Yeah,
you just
Listen, and just in case you're wondering, it wasn't racist. It had some racial overtones. It had some sexual overtones. But it's not something you could say here on the air anywhere. But anyway,
lots of other shows that I think would be all about
would Pat McAfee say it?
Would say a blip. Of course, I don't even think it's anything. That's what I mean by it's not like it's anything.
Now, did Rory win? Did Rory win this? Did he deserve to win this Masters? Yeah, like that's a good question because he had great shots.
Okay,
some of the all-time great shots, but some of the worst. Well,
Justin Rose didn't lose it, so of
course not. Justin Rose came out of nowhere.
So Rory won it.
Okay,
but he embarrassingly won it.
Embarrassing,
and that's a hard thing to do at the Masters. It's very rare where you don't come out just feeling like, and pardon the pun, but like roses coming out of the Masters. And I don't think he has that feeling going to sleep tonight. I think it's more relief than it is, I'm so great I did it, because he's not that guy. And I think someone said it like that. I don't even remember who it was, but someone said that he's not that guy. And it was very clear that Tiger would never miss that putt. Jack would never miss that putt.
Yeah, but nobody's claiming he's Jack and Tiger. He's not. He's not Jack and Tiger.
No, but the PGA and he is. He thinks is the greatest. He does, and that's what I mean by that. So it's they're trying to make him that, and he never will be. And I think this was the golf god saying, "We told you so." You give it to you, but not the way you want it.
What about the one? What about, speaking of the golf gods? What about the one that hung on the lip?
Oh, forever.
Tigers rolled over and went in. His stayed on the lip. Yeah. And that cost him a stroke too. That cost him a stroke where Justin Rose scored on that hole and he fell behind again.
No, but you have to now I didn't see, all I saw was the ball.
It was on the lip.
No, but you have to like walk up on that ball. You can't just let it go forever. There's a point where you get a stroke against you if you just let it sit.
It's like 18, it's like 20 seconds. It's like 20 seconds. I think the rule is 20 seconds.
You're right.
After it stops moving. After it stops moving.
A very long time, and I didn't know if he was walking. And then what you need to do is you need to walk up quick and hard.
No, I don't think I don't think you can do that. I mean, you can do. I don't think you can affect the ball. Is what I'm saying. What are you saying? Walk past it with a breeze?
No, you're just getting your ball. You're quick, and you're getting up there. That's not
gonna roll it in.
A couple stomps on the way.
You know what I saw? No, I saw a thing on the internet the other day. It said greatest putt in history. The kid hit it right. He hit it it sat on the lip. The next thing was he's got a driver out, and he swung the driver over it, but barely touched it, and it rolled in. But no, I think it's 20 seconds. It can sit on after it stops rolling. 20 seconds, but if it rolls in after that 20 seconds, it doesn't count. So it doesn't. It's not like you just wait and wait and wait. It goes in. I think after 20 seconds, that's where your ball is, and you probably get penalized for not marking the ball, right? Because now you don't know where to mark it.
These are the only situations where it's not just up to the guy's clock in his head. There's nobody with a stopwatch outside of the Masters.
No, there is. There definitely is. There definitely is.
No,
somebody's counting the time.
yes, in all the PGA tour, not for every shot of every guy.
Well, you know what the PGA.
You are right. There's a P. You think they stop the
Well, what they
stopwatch?
used to do was, remember, people used to call in.
That's what would that's where you're going to get, like, I feel like that's when I saw it. Like, I didn't know what the real result was, or even how real it was, or was the guy walking up on it. Like, but
someone sitting at home with a stopwatch used to call in and be like, this was a penalty, and they used to go with it. Like, that would do, it would count.
The one where you lose the ball. It's where you lose the ball, where they would get you on that one. You had 1 minute or whatever it was. They changed the rule and shortened it, and they got a couple people last year. You know, that's a tough one, man.
But they changed that because they would have people calling in, like, being like it's weird. It's weird to be the guy. Like, you can't be the viewer and the fan be the referee at home, and that's what that is. It's supposed to be like honorable thing, like you take your own penalties.
To get it wrong and then to not penalize, like, you clearly have video of a guy doing it wrong. What problem is then you marked an incorrect scorecard.
Yes,
and so
and you get disqualified.
You're like Rory today, and they go, "No, sorry, that was 21 seconds, buddy. You don't win the Masters."
And that's happened. But that's happened. Like, a guy signed the scorecard wrong, and they're disqualified.
There's been some, to win tournaments that's happened. And it was the caddy doing the, saying this or saying that or whatever it was. But
yeah, I mean, that's a disaster. Now,
another Masters in the books, and Rory finally gets it after 12 tries.
Were you rooting for him? I mean, Justin Rhodes got to be kicking himself, right? Shoots a +3 yesterday.
I was let the comeback Justin Rose do it once. I'm just not a Rory guy. Like, I don't know why. It's just
I like him. I liked him. I was rooting for Rory.
No, I'm not rooting against him, but I wanted to see it get tough at the end. I want to see exactly what I saw is what I wanted to see.
It couldn't get any tougher.
I didn't care that Rory won it. I didn't want to see it just be some quick up and down. It goes smooth. And so it was perfect to me, like how that went. Nice drama with it, right from beginning to end. You could watch that early round, and it was just as exciting as watching the end of that round.
And the pressure. I mean, Rose, when he makes that putt at 18, and Rory's teeing off on 17, that's a lot of pressure now, because he sees that, he hears that roar, he knows what he's got to do. Now he knows he's going in, he's just got to get a par, because he birdied 17.
Yeah.
So now I'm okay. He's just got to get a par, and he plants it right into the bunker, the green side bunker. And in the middle of the round, he went into a cut, and in the beginning, he went right into those fairway bunkers, the first 2 holes. I mean, for tee shots, and he's usually money off the tee with the driver. He was great with the irons the whole week until today.
He was all over the place with the driver early, and let me tell you, his recovery. And if you look back, what saved his round is that recovery out of 7, where he's in the trees, in the woods. He puts it in this tiny little window, and he curves that thing around and drops it like you've never seen. And that's just early on, and it just kept the pressure on. If he doesn't do that, DeChambeau might have actually taken a bigger lead at that point. Rory's dropping at it. That was, let me tell you,
he was dropping drama. like a rock for a while drama. There. Now, what do you think about Nantz? Now, to me, I like Nantz, but on the funny. Golf, I'm not. He's too much. He's too much.
Big fall off for him this year. Let me tell you,
he should have stuck with the basketball, the NCAA.
No, right. I think he called that. It was a Rory par that was the DeChambeau birdie early.
Oh, really?
And he called like for the whole time where he had to come back and apologize after, and he was off a lot today. Off,
and he had the whole every year before this. He's doing the NCAA tournament until Monday.
Yeah,
but he was at the finals because he's a Houston fan. But still, you had all the time off to prepare.
I thought he was going to get like a larger run because, it's one thing when Lundqvist is gone. He was the one carrying it, but and now like I thought he was going to get this 10-year run. I don't know, man. It may be time for them to start thinking of who's the younger generation.
Well, Ian Eagle. Ian Eagle's next up in the NFL for him. He's going to replace him in the NFL. He's already replaced him with the tournament. Ian Eagle. I mean, in golf, I don't know who it would be. He'll do golf for a while though, because golf it's not a big thing.
You have to have a certain thing in golf to like get it. Like Vern Lundquist had this special, cadence to be able to call golf, and like, so I don't know. I think it's just
too much like a prototype of. He's like, and the whisper and just the storytelling. It's too much, Nantz. I like you on football. I like you on basketball. I'm not crazy about him on golf.
Too, because they'll be in the middle of the round, and all of a sudden they do a 10-minute thing on whoever. And you're missing like shots, and they're about to like fast forward you back and stuff. You're on like we're on the back 9 at the Masters. Like,
Yeah, I don't need to see the 10-minute piece on somebody, somebody's grandfather who died. He promised he would win the Masters for him or something like that. I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that. But anyway, good
let the golf call itself. When special moments happen, give you something quick. And, you don't need much. It's the overproduced stuff or thought about. I feel like he's thinking about it a little too much. And he's in the tower.
Listen, Nantz is in the tower at 18. Okay, that's where he is. He's there all day. He's there. That's where he's calling everything from. Most of the time, you're hearing these guys on the holes with them, right? And it goes to Nantz is kind of just he's directed traffic.
Call him missing that shot. You got to call that better. You got to call that that's a shocking moment.
And what about the other one? What about the one on 18 when he's like, if it's on the green, it should be the green jacket. And it just, as it's in the air, he says that, and it plops right in the bunker. Like, come on. Come on, Nantz.
No, it really wasn't there for me.
No. And he started to tell the story.
When I think back to it, and I just watched pretty much that entire thing, I remember zero part of it of calls. There's nothing that was like that call.
And there should be a couple there. There was a couple. There should be a couple of them.
Shots I've seen, and I don't see any kind of oh my god calls, and they were easy, and it was high drama regardless. But it was the golf did the talking today.
And the one that it's not that big of a deal, but the one too on 18 when it looked like he was going to win, he hit the first time he was on 18, he hit the tee shot perfect. And then he's going in, right? It looks like you always got to do is put it on the green. He says it's got to go in. If it goes on the green, he wins the green jacket, and he puts it in the bunker. But he also started telling the story about the token with the balls, and he never finished it. Yeah. He goes, he had one token, and then we heard about it a half hour later about, that was the only token he had till Tuesday or whatever. Like, if you're gonna tell me the story, which I don't want to hear in the first place, at least finish it. Don't leave me hanging. Because what if he hits the putt? And I never get to hear about the token.
He had them all saved up. You have 4 days of golf. Hours and hours. You save up the token story.
Yeah, I didn't like
for it. For the guy who's not even running in it anymore. He was talking about the Shambo is the funniest part.
No, he wasn't. The token story was about Rory. Hey, his parents worked at the golf course. They had no money. They wanted him. He was a prodigy. Here was the end of the story. The story was
multiple token stories.
The story was, here's the token. I only got one token. And Rory was disappointed because he could only get one bucket of balls. And his father said, hit every shot like the Masters is on the line.
Okay.
Come on. That was it's always over the top with Nantz, with the golf.
In that story, he shanks it in the bunker and then misses the putt.
In the middle of the story, misses
the last ball he had in the bag.
Last ball he had in the bag. If he had 2 tokens, he would have buried the putt. He would have got up and down.
Threw up another ball at the end of that. I thought he was going to die right on the green.
The Mets win 2 out of 3, right? And they're rolling. Alonso, are you kidding me with Alonso?
Alonso on a tear. But honestly, the big story out of today: Kodai Senga, 7 innings, scoreless, 4-hit ball. Good to see him be able to go pitch. He was somewhere in the. I don't even know. By the time he was pitching in that 7th inning, I think he only was through like 80 pitches. So he might have got up to 90 or so. Looking good today. Just good to see the more the length than, the good outing. Mets get out of their minor league park. It was good to see Beatty and Vientos get some doubles in the 9th inning.
I think you got to get Beatty. You got to get Beatty till the end of April, right? At least people are running him off the team right now.
Felt very comfortable this weekend because it's where he's probably going to spend the rest of his career in a minor league park. So I expected big things out of him. But what about he's been missing fastballs right down the middle. They don't even bother trying to trick him anymore. They just throw him heat inside, outside. He can't recognize it. He's now trying to jump on stuff, but he can't hit it.
It's his last chance, right? So give him to April because they can withstand the hole in the lineup right now, right there. The Mets could be okay with that. And what do you think about Soto with not hustling down the line? Like, what are you doing? $50 million? And I get it. You might not always hustle, but it looks terrible. You're not hustling down the line, $50 million. Come on.
It's get that stuff out early, and you're going to find out who the leaders in the clubhouse are. Because is someone willing to stand up to someone like Soto?
Lindor.
Are they buddies no? But it's 2 different things because you get in relationships where you don't want to step on toes. Oh no, who's the big wig? Who is it?
Yeah, but
is
if you're
the guy
friends,
with the money? or it's the guy who's been here.
But if you're friends, you could say to him, "Hey, yo, bro, what are you doing? You know that looks bad. That looks bad. You can't do that." But if you know, I see what you're saying. I don't know if they're friends
already,
or not.
but he already knows. You know, he doesn't not know. He knows. But now, does he learn from that? Now, who are you? You know, do you go out? It's on your own. It's you don't need anybody to tell you. You know, you hear the chirping. You see the social media when you get back. You don't even need Lindor to say anything to know it.
The second the second that throw went wide, he was like, "Oh shit."
Oh, 100%. No, 100%. And again, I'd rather that happen now. You don't want if that stuff happen. Listen, when that happens in a crazy tight game or in a playoff race, or if you ever see a lack of hustle or awareness, I think awareness is the key. But you want to see it all the time. But the truth is,
everybody's going to do it. Everybody does it once in a while.
Stuff off. Guys are going to be frustrated when they hit into a double play and lollygag down to first, and the guy boots it, and it would have been safe. It just happens. Like
yeah,
that
it's
going to
happen. But no matter when it happens, you have to eat it, and you have to take the criticism because it looks terrible. All these people going to work tomorrow, and you're getting $50 million, and you can't hustle it down the first base. It just looks bad. It looks bad.
That can't become your thing. That can't become your thing.
No, it can't become your thing.
If it's not a daily occurrence, then all of a sudden everybody knows, and that's your thing. And that's on the manager. That makes him look bad.
It's not his thing.
It makes it look like there's no control. No, and so like you said, there's all these things aren't problems as long as the Mets keep winning. We can keep Beatty in the lineup. We can keep working with Vientos. We have McNeil coming back soon. We have Alvarez coming back soon. They're going to have options. There's a point where we didn't know where we were going to put McNeil, and now we can't wait for him to get back. Acuna's looking pretty good.
Yeah, but he's not. I don't think he's ready for every day prime time yet.
Who's going where? Like, who's going where? When McNeil comes back and Alvarez comes back, we know
go down. Beatty's going down. Beatty and the cashier are going down.
They played full games today, and you don't leave Alvarez down there playing full games if he's not.
No, he'll be back in a week, right? He'll be back in a week.
He's on his way back, and same thing with McNeil. So we'll see what happens with that. But eventually, Vientos, what happens with him? What if he doesn't hit for the next 2 months?
Oh, I mean, Vientos gets a lot longer leash than Beatty. The Vientos was a power hitter superstar coming up last year.
Right. He might be a leave him up guy, but it's going to be a tough choice. But they showed you that they put Beatty over at third base to say pretty much Vientos, this isn't just yours. This is for whoever plays.
He needed a day off. He's struggling. He's a kid still, but he's struggling. He can't hit. Right. But we know what Vientos is better than Beatty.
No, you're right. But if Beatty goes out and had a couple good days, if Vientos continued to struggle, all of a sudden Beatty will be your third baseman in a couple weeks. That's how it would work.
I think you're way far away from that.
No, you are. You are weeks. No, you're weeks away from not hitting it all, which I really hope is going to turn the corner because it's very
Beatty's not hitting either. Beatty had 3 hits coming into today for the season.
Anything. No. Nobody's doing anything to take control over anything. It's Vientos' position until somebody decides to hit themselves into this.
It's Alonso's carrying the team.
100%. And and Lindor is not having a rough start. Average start to look amazing with him in April. Like, and that looks great
hitting,
when he's
hitting. Soto's getting on base is what he's doing. He's getting on base.
The problem is they are not hitting with runners in scoring position. You know what they are, Bob? 080 or 083 going into this game, hitting with runners in scoring position. That is horrific.
They're getting great bullpen pitching, decent starting pitching, and Alonso's carrying the offense, and that's what they're doing. And that's it. And they're somehow 9-3 or 10-3 or whatever.
They also went on and played the Marlins, the Blue Jays, the Marlins,
and the A's.
The A's, which that is the entire name.
Is that the name? I was going to ask you. It's not Sacramento. What is it? Sacramento? Is that where they are? Sacramento A's or?
Sacramento, but their name for the year on the thing. Instead of it saying New York Mets, it says the Athletics. Okay, so where the city is, they put the.
I wasn't sure. So is it like the Washington football team?
We'll put it this way. When they had Jose Siri, did you see him get hurt? So Jose Siri
I know. The cart broke down.
Cart's broken down. They can't get it back. They brought him back for the x-ray, and Mary Curie herself did the x-rays out in the field. No, I'm telling you, that is a crazy operation that they have going on.
There's 2 Major League Baseball teams playing in minor league parks. Like, that's not good.
But you know what's not good is? It's the best experience those fans have had in a long time. That's the sickest part.
Yeah, they're not,
the other experience in Oakland was horrific for the last few years. They're actually having fun going to the park now. That's the sick part. It's people there. And that's not just for the Mets. They're actually like getting people to go. People are enjoying it. Ron's talking about how the vibe is so great. He's a former A, so it was a big deal to him of coming. He's like, I love coming to this park. They actually look like they're enjoying baseball. It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
but it's also not right the way they pulled him out of the Oakland. The A's owner tanked it. He tanked it for 3 years or 5 years straight. He tanked it. He tanked like on purpose.
Parks, though, be a little bit closer to that in seating capacity. They are going to be the new baseball parks, like the one in Vegas, 33,000 seats.
Is that where they're going? That's where the A's are going, right? Vegas?
So, yeah, but they're talking 33,000 seats. Now, it's going to be a big venue with a lot of stuff going on, like not a tiny place, but the actual seating stuff, they're not looking to, they'd rather have, these small capacities. They know they're not going to fill out 181 games a year anymore.
But in Vegas, you can. In Vegas, because you get people there who go like, oh, something to do. Like the Raiders. I went to the Raiders Chiefs game.
But now it's an exclusive seat, and it's packed, and there's tons of VIP, and there's on-field experience. And it's going to be a different thing where you're like right on top of it.
Like Savannah Bananas.
It's so you don't go to that though if there's only 5,000 people there. You would never go. You don't care about the experience. If 5,000 is like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just
it doesn't feel important.
But it's listen. At this point, it's not even about the product on the field. It's going to be about, can we bring people to the park? So it's going to be a different thing for these small market teams.
I think if they win, the people come. Right? If they win, the people come. That's how it works. That's just how it works everywhere. I mean, except Tampa.
No.
They don't go anywhere.
Oh.
They don't go no matter what in Tampa.
You're right.
You were walking up in the ALCS buying dugout seats.
And that's when they had a roof.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So that's pretty much it, right? We got the Masters. Oh wait, what?
You know what Field's going to be like in August? Go play at no roof. Tampa playing at Steinbrenner Field in August. 110 degrees in Tampa.
It's gonna be terrible. Yeah, but they have games there. They have minor league teams, right? They play.
Not really. They're not like that.
It's gonna be miserable. I hope that.
No.
So Yankees are playing now. They got Sunday Night Baseball against the Giants. They lost Monday. Stroman stinks. Stroman bitching and moaning. They want to be in the like I'm not a reliever. Don't put me in the bullpen. He stinks. He's given up 1 million runs so far in the first 2 games.
How is a pitcher? Even if he's a good pitcher, his attitude stinks. So even if he's a bad pitcher, his attitude stinks. If he's a good pitcher, his attitude stinks. He's an eye guy. He's not a team guy. He's never going to make a postseason roster for any kind of good baseball team. So he realized who he is. He's a mid-level, hired, long-term eat-up innings pitcher. So enjoy it.
Yeah, he thinks he's an ace, though. He thinks he's the ace. So, so that does it.
You got a big day tomorrow.
We got the Knicks. Dexter Henry coming on. Dexter Henry to talk some Knicks. We got the playoffs starting. I think
they had a tough time for the Pistons.
Yeah. But they didn't have their players. They didn't have 3 of the players. They didn't have. I think they'll be okay against the Pistons.
Well, and they've also never beat another decent team all year.
No, they don't beat teams that are better than them. They'll lose the second round.
No, I know. It's going to be, I like to say, listen, it's the Knicks. They can make a run, right? Brunson's back, a little bit healthy. We got a couple more pieces. You're right.
Yeah.
First time they've been together this year.
Look, at least they're in the playoffs, right? Don't get me started on the Rangers. They're out. The Islanders are out. The hockey's, the playoffs the NHL is about to get good, and then both out. Rangers are President's Trophy last year.
The whole year was a Washington Capital coming in and scoring a goal.
Then it was a Sam Rosen.
The top moment of the year.
That pisses me off the most, Sam Rosen. So Rory, congratulations to Rory, career slam. He's not Tiger. He's not Tiger. He's not Phil. We knew this, right? He almost blew it. It was one of the wildest Sundays at the Masters that you will ever see. It was like up and down, a roller coaster of emotions. And Rory wins in a playoff hole, comes and pulls it out of his ass, really. Mets win. They take 2 of 3. Now they go. Where do they go now? They go. I want to say
they will play Minnesota tomorrow.
Minnesota. That's right. Okay.
Minnesota tomorrow. Another one that they said, you know what? It's Minnesota. You know what we need? No roof. And it's going to be 39 degrees for the game tomorrow.
They did that.
So have a great time.
They did that with the football team too. They went from a roof to no roof with the Vikings.
Who needs roof? I mean, we don't plan on playing many postseason games, I guess. It's just kind of, it's just misery. I'm sorry when you sit through a 35-degree rainy game.
I had tickets on my birthday and the day after, and I wanted no part of it. I didn't even go. I wasn't even.
That Saturday game, good for the Citi Field crowd of those Mets fans for showing up to that Saturday game, because you are better than I am.
What about the Yankee fans the other night? Said they're down 7-0. Stroman gives up 7 runs. They're down 7-0, 9-1, and there's still some people in the ballpark. It's 30 degrees. It's raining. It's gross.
I'm sorry. That is not fun baseball. It's been a rough April in New York to go sit through some games.
Yeah,
but
it's been November and April. So
We'll get there eventually.
that does it. Join us tomorrow. Dexter Henry. A lot coming up. We'll do live stuff over the week, and then we got some big guests coming up for basketball and everything like that. So for Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. Congratulations, Rory McIlroy, your Masters winner. See ya.